Could you guys hear double of that whole time? I didn't even notice I had the sound on up there. Vincenzo, David, Trade, welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions along the way, just let me know. We're going to go ahead and talk about CMEG. We're going to talk about the KPTI trade, and I'm going to kind of just go over my plan to, start getting back into a little bit of what some would call bigger numbers. So with that said, let's just jump into the intro. So to start us off, we'll talk about CMEG. Sorry, I was reading something that kind of caught my attention. I'm confused about their platforms, Sterling and DAS. What are the monthly prices? Well, that's an easy question. Let's just, capital market. They got like two different websites, kind of. So I always got to make sure I get the right one. So if we just go over here on their site, we go to pricing, and then we go, or actually it's under trading platforms. You can just click view all. You have the Traders Elite, which is powered by Sterling. They are $99 a month. And then DAS is $115 a month. Now, let me, just to be sure, don't want to say any wrong numbers here. So it looks like, nope, I'm going to have to go back one more. Sorry about that. I can probably turn that off if it keeps going. So, okay, there's the deposit. So I'm just looking up what the monthly charge was. So it was $150. So it's $35 for the market and data fees. So it'd be $150 total for DAS, and it would be $134 total for Sterling. So that would be your monthly prices for each, to answer your question, Davis. I don't know. I called you David earlier. Sorry about that. Double D in the house. What's up, Double D? Always happy to see you. You know that. I suck at winking. Then we got Thomas in the house. What's up, man? Yeah, no problem. If you have any other questions, just let me know. So, yeah, the real reason, first off, I just want to say, how do I say it? America! Fuck yeah! Hopefully you guys catch the reference there. But, look at us go, man. We popped through 300 today. We did it in the pre-market. We actually got up to 320 in the pre-market, if I can scroll over it. And she got back over it about midway through the day a little bit, and pretty much in the afternoon. She was kind of teeter-tottering with it a little bit. And once she got above, man, she didn't look back. And there was a lot of people looking at this daily, which I'll put it up here, that were really thinking that we were going to hit that 300 and get rejected and kind of get a pullback down into these 280s. But, I think if over this next week we can just hold above 300, we might be looking at a pretty bullish market right now. So that's something to keep in mind overall. I don't obviously trade the SPY or anything up in this price range, but it does affect us, trading overall, like especially if you're doing some mid-cap trading. All right, I'm going to turn that off. I actually had it turned off, and then I turned it back on earlier. But it's just my text messages coming through on my computer. But trying to sound popular, I'm not. It's just like my one of my two friends. But yeah, I mean, it affects our trading because, if you're trading mid caps, a lot of these guys, when people are trading, they kind of take a look at the market. And when you're in a bullish market, people tend to, not be afraid to buy as much. When you're in a bearish market, people tend to be scared to hold on to stocks. So that's kind of why it matters. And this is a pretty key level. So I'm definitely just kind of keeping an eye on it. But yeah, KPTI, this thing's been pretty crazy ever since, everything that happened. But let me make sure I'm catching up. Will you shave your beard on your first $1,000 day? My first $1,000 day in futures hooked me for life. I think it would have to be more than just my first $1,000 day, because I feel like at that point I'm going to be expecting it. So, you know, it's definitely a goal of mine, the $1,000 a day club. But I don't know if I would want to alter my face just because I made $1,000 in a day. I'll go get it trimmed up nice. Maybe if I don't know what it would take for me to shave. I started with just the goatee because I could never really grow, the sides. And then one day, I want to say it was probably like 5 years ago, I just said, I'm going to let it go and I'm going to let it start to try to fill itself in. And it's just been maintenance. There's been a couple times where I've let it like really come out. I actually, I can't minimize all of this at once. It actually has me log me out. Let me try exiting. I can't. What? It's saying I'm not logged in. Say what? There we go. That's my family. But that's actually not as what I was thinking. Let me pull CMEG back up while I find this picture real quick. It won't take me that long. So sorry for our new. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Why alter perfection? That's right. If something's working for you, there's no reason to change it. Where are you at? So how is everybody? Does anybody have any awesome plans for the weekend? So this is the picture, but it's cropped, so you can't really see it. Let me find the original picture. It's such a great point. Yeah, this picture will work. This is actually not the longest I've had it. And definitely just gave you guys my name if you want to look me up. I actually debated on calling my channel, by my name like everybody else, but is what it is. I'm not really that worried about you guys knowing my name. But this is kind of not as long as I've had it, but this is kind of where I was comfortable letting it get to. But I liked it. And I always think about in the wintertime letting it get back to that. But it takes me a long time. I don't really grow facial hair that long. And I think that's the other reason I don't want to just let it go. So yeah, I don't want to have to endure the pain of waiting for it to grow back. You like that, Vincenzo? I'm saying that right? I'm Vincenzo. That's an awesome name. I love that. Yeah, Thomas, I know, man. You've been, what wasn't it? Barry. Yeah, Barry's out to get you. Have I ever used SureTrader as a broker? Yes. I actually came from SureTrader. I was actually with SureTrader since I started back in August of last year, and it wasn't until May of this year. So it's been 2 months, or I think it was May. Yeah, I think May 1st. I was just looking at it. I can tell you the exact day. Yes, May 1st was my first official day with CMEG. So until just 2 months ago, I was with SureTrader. Do you have a specific question about them? Again, I answer any questions you guys have. That's why I'm here. But yeah, with SureTrader, honestly, the main reason I switched was commissions. Just paying $5 per ticket, especially the way that I trade. It just wasn't going to work out. I was getting, which I'm about to show you guys one. I was getting $2.95 a trade with CMEG. Can you use TC2000 with CMEG? I don't think you can use any other software besides Sterling or DOS. I think those are kind of integrated into them. Like, I don't think you can. I know what you're saying, because I think Interactive Brokers lets you do it. I'm not sure of all the others. I haven't looked into it because I haven't had to yet. But I know a lot of the U.S. brokers allow you to integrate into those and use their software, like different charting softwares for their broker. But I'm pretty positive that with CMEG you can only use what you decide to use, which would be Sterling or DOS. Have you ever taken a withdrawal from either CMEG or SureTrader? Any problems getting your money? No. Well, yes, I have. I actually withdrew my funds from CMEG when I decided to paper trade for a month. I had it out, I want to say it was like 5 business days. With SureTrader, it was a little bit quicker. I want to say it was like 2 business days. And with SureTrader, I had done it 2 times. Was it 2 times? Yeah, 2 times. The first time was when I left them to go to Interactive Brokers, and I put my money back on there because I didn't like the whole PDT rule. I tried it. And the second time was when I decided to switch to CMEG. So those 2 times I withdrew from them. Both times I got it. I think one time was 2 business days. The other one was 3. But the other one, it was over the weekend on the second one. And with CMEG, when I paper traded, I took my money off, and it basically took a week because I think I did it on like Monday midday, and I got it Monday, or I got it, I guess it was either Sunday night or Monday. I don't remember. It was like over the last day of the weekend, or it was Monday morning, because I had just checked Monday midday, and it was there in my account. That's what I was going to show you. So I was trying to tell you the main reason I switched. So SureTrader, I was paying $4.95 a ticket, no matter how many shares. Oh, actually up to 495 shares. Then everything over that was a penny a share. So if you were taking 1,000 shares, that's $10, and it goes all the way up to $50. So if you're someone who actually trades like 2,000 shares, you're paying $20 just to get into the trade. I mean, that's ridiculous. Excuse me. So going over to CMEG, it was $2.95 a ticket, all the way up to 999 shares, and then anything over that was I think it's 0.005. So it was half of a penny per share. So it was much cheaper. Now, I am actually getting, just through working with them, putting in your time and shares and all that good stuff. I was able to work out a deal with them that I had mentioned to you guys, to where I have them down to it's 0.004 per trade, and the ECM fees are a little bit lower as well. So if I get like on this day when I traded NTNX at 3 fills, it was a total of $1.50. And I don't understand why, because it was 50 cents a trade. But if I trade anything, I think it's if I traded 200 shares, it would be 80 cents. Obviously, 400 shares would be $1.60. You get the idea. But the minimum is 50 cents. So if I'm only taking 50 shares, or like 100 shares, would only be 40 cents, but there's a minimum of 50 cents. So that's how that works. So it's been very nice to be able to just take less share. Like if I want to scale back just for a little bit because of something that happened, like the KPTI trade, I can do that and it doesn't hurt me. What's crazy? Kind of skipping back and forth, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But to get into the part of CMEG, the whole reason I kind of put them in the title along with the KPTI trade is I wanted to go back and show you guys kind of what happened and what they like, and the reason that they decided to do what they did. So if short trader fees are, let me get to it real quick and then, all right. So short trader fees, what they do basically is, they give you the opportunity to get started with a small account. However, it's so hard with the way that their commissions are set up to get away from having a small account, because anything that you make within reason of your, sizing with a smaller account, they pretty much take back in fees. So you're literally just kind of fighting to be a break-even trader. And even like today, look at today. Let's just put this in perspective on both brokers at all different, commission prices. I had 5 tickets. I'll pull up the calculator just to kind of put it into perspective. So 5 tickets with SureTrader would have been $495 times 5. So it would have been $24.75 in commissions. So minus the $7 I was actually profitable, we would have been negative $17.75 on the day. With CMEG under the $295, it's a little bit better. It would have been $10.35 on the day. Now keep in mind, this is without fees and stuff taken out. This is with fees. If I go to the account report, you'll see that this is including $2.34 in ECN fees, 23-cent SEC fee, blah 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 blah, 0.04 cents, et cetera, et cetera. So that's after that. But if we did just the $295, let's clear this. So we'll do $295 just to give you perspective again, times 5, and then minus the 7. I feel like I did that wrong. Right? Oh no, that's right. It would just be negative. So we would be down $7.75. But luckily with the new one, all these are actually going to be 50 cents, so it's going to be $2.50. So if we just do 7 minus 250, now I've actually profited $4.50. So it's amazing how from SureTrader I went from losing $25 making the same trades to making $4.50 just by a broker. So it's pretty crazy. And you should all use CMEG, sign up under my affiliate code, and boom, there you go. Save on commissions. Yes and no, Z-Lisk. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know the code offhand. You guys would have to go find it yourself. But there is another community where you can get, for me, I am an affiliate with CMEG. There's only so much I can say, within the contract. So I try not to get too, try to watch what I say when it comes to that. But there are other affiliates that may be able to offer you something better. But it's not necessarily, that much better per se. I mean, it can be depending on how much you trade. Well, that's Kevin's code. Yeah. Kevin Avery. I have a code as well. Yeah. No, it's definitely better than SureTrader. That's what I tell everybody. If you're with SureTrader, it makes no sense to not switch to CMEG. You're paying the same for the platform and data fees. All you're doing is getting better commissions. And you would be helping someone like me out who's an affiliate. It's next to nothing what we get. But it's just by being an affiliate, it helps them get more business. And so obviously we get a little bit of a kickback for it, but it's really nothing to write home about. Let me actually have this up still. I'll show you if you go, because I have a CMEG review. Thought I hit it. Yeah, I mean, again, Kevin, I believe Kevin has the same offer as I do right now, where it would be that $295. Here it is. So,
what's up, traders?
If you guys support Kevin and you want to, obviously if you're more of a follower for him, then go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But as you can see, as I copy pasted it from there, but there's my code if you guys want to use it and help support my growing channel. That's what we're doing. We're growing. We actually got quite a few views on that one, like 745. I think that's probably one of my most viewed videos. Let's take a quick look. $25. What's $25? Oh, what are their locate fees? Is it 25? I thought it was 20. And if we can get 4 more subscribers while we're doing this live stream, guys, I'll go ahead and do the giveaway too while we're here. I had told myself that in the video today, because we're only at 291, that I would wait until next Friday. But maybe if we can surprise ourselves and get some of you guys that aren't subscribed. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 25. What was I about to do? Oh, check the top video. I don't know if I can you do that? I'm so not like that great with YouTube. Last 28 days. Here we go. Lifetime. Yeah, it'll come up here. Oh, so it's the Shirt Trader one, which makes sense. I mean, Shirt Trader is the bigger name. I wish I actually might the first of the year make a new video so I can say it's 2020. And I'll probably redo both of them, to be honest, because I'm always learning something new about them. But I wish I could do one on Shirt Trader and, because obviously more people watch it, and just let them know about, the commissions. Because I think I had done the Shirt Trader review when I still was with Shirt Trader and hadn't ever even heard of CMEG, which obviously a lot of people haven't. So it kind of stinks to know that, some people are going with Shirt Trader and they don't know that $2 a ticket. I think I had done this before. And I know the locate fees are the same for Shirt Trader too, because I actually did them once and it was $25. Kind of regretted it too, because I ended up losing money on that trade. But where'd that screen go? There it goes. As my whole screen goes blank on me. I'm actually curious if it does it for you. Nope. Okay. I forgot what I was getting at there. I kind of got sidetracked. But okay. Needless to say, ask some questions if you have them. I'm going to jump into this KPTI trade and let you guys know why it ended up playing out the way that it did. Quick recap. They ended up, in one of my other videos I showed you guys, I'll show you again real quick. Pull this back over here. Pull this over here. Nope, wrong one. I'm going to get it right, I promise. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Thank you for reminding me. The quicker access to money, I mean, is 3 days really worth losing $2 a ticket? Like, I put it this way. Like, here, let me just show you my month of May. Let's just do May. So May 1st to May 31st. So if we go down, I had 99 orders. This is just to show you. So 99 orders times 495 is $490.05. Let's do that same 99 times 295. That's $292.05. So let's do 490.05 minus 292.05. That's $198 you're just tossing out the window by using Shirt Trader instead of CMEG. It's that simple. And that's just 1 month. I mean, times that by 12, that's a decent amount of money per year. Just because, I mean, I don't know what you're worried about. I get the access to money, but, is the access to money, for 3 days really worth that amount of money per year? And that's only if you trade about 100 orders a month. Some people do way more than that. So imagine that on 200, just double the number. Imagine that on 400, quadruple this number. So, I mean, it adds up. And there was something else I was going to say. I don't remember. Oh, with like, what was it? It was $198. So your software and market data fees are $150 if you use DOS. Right there, it pays for itself. So now you don't have to worry about paying for that, in a sense. Say you want to you want to sign up for the ISW scanners. I think I was actually just looking at the pricing on this because I hadn't looked at it in a while. So I was curious if he had updated it. Where is it? Which I have a code for that too, by the way. Which I'll just put over here, just in case anybody's curious. But if you come here, I mean, look at that. You could pay for the Platinum VIP, which is what I use, $160 a month, and it would basically be free just by switching brokers. I mean, to me, that's insane. Like, you get access to something I can't trade without for free, essentially. You catch my drift. But can you only get the level 2 platforms of DOS and Sterling? Well, I don't understand what you mean. I mean, you get level 2s for the whole market. As you can see here, just in here, you got NASDAQ, ARCA, NASDAQ, EDGX, New York Stock Exchange. There's even some other ones that pop up every once in a while. Of course, they're not in these. PSX, here's another one. And there's even more. I've seen some weird ones pop up there that you don't really see that often. But yeah, you get access to all that. And the cool thing about, I mean, you can really make this as big as you want. Like, if you want level 2 to be down to here, like, if you didn't use hot buttons like I do, this whole screen could be your level 2. So during the day, it would just be endless streams of numbers. So if you're in a pretty volatile stock, you'll see, 820 all the way up to like $11, something like $15. Some people, just randomly have their shares sitting there, and this one will be like from 782 all the way down to $1, depending on how low you have it. But yeah, let's keep asking away, guys. Ask questions. I'll stop and answer them. But while I'm waiting for some new questions, I guess let me just make sure I didn't miss any. I don't think I did. So, yeah, the quick backstory. Yeah, that was why I opened this originally. Let me go back to it. So on the KPTI trade, if you guys remember, let me pull this up first. When we got into this, it got halted, right? And we got into a dilemma. Kev Ball, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? Thank you for stopping in. Speaking of Mr. Avery, when we got into this trade, it got halted. So when it got halted, we were under the impression, because we had this was on Wednesday, the day before the 4th of July. We knew it was a half day. We knew the market closed at 1. We actually called, I want to say it was like 11 o'clock. We called CMEG and we asked them what their trading hours were. They told me 2 o'clock. So I said, okay, cool. Probably wasn't going to be worried about it because wasn't really planning. It was before the KPTI trade, so it was before like 10:40 or so. That's what it looks like when that started. It was probably like 10:20, 10:30 or something like that. Things were slowing down whenever that was. So we get in the trade, it gets halted. Well, we're waiting for this thing to unhalt. We're waiting, and then I realized it was a T3 halt. So I was like, well, hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully it's whatever's causing this is, fake news, and we'll go back down. Well, apparently it was, the leaked image of an FDA approval. And, the thought of this thing opening much higher is actually what came into mind. However, when it opened up, it actually seemed like the FDA approval was actually already kind of priced into this. So because what happened was the price came down. So keep in mind the time is 1:35, right? So when this thing opens, as you can see, I actually had an order in here at 8:15, just, in case it opened up down there or decided to drop right down. And it kind of comes down towards like 8. And if you notice, my average is at 870, 375. It comes down to this 870 area. And I'm like, you know what? It's kind of struggling here, but it's kind of trying to hold. And it wasn't dropping as fast as I wanted it to. I actually try to take half my position at 870. It got rejected. So I actually tried again on a new route. I open up a new route here and I try again, as you'll see. So it obviously doesn't go through. So on those two attempts, which was at $8.70 and $8.65, they declared after all the reviewing that those were my cover orders for my 400 shares. So no matter what happened after those two clicks, for this situation, they didn't care. They didn't care that both those orders were rejected. They just didn't care. So if we fast forward, I'm now on the phone with them, I believe, like right around here. And I tell them, hey, I can't get out of the position. Can you do it for me? And she says, okay, hold on. So she puts me on hold. And as you can see, this thing starts going in my favor. Well, I'm pretty sure this is a coincidence, but you'll see me click the button. And for some reason, when I clicked the button this time, I didn't change anything. Like, this is what I've always done. As you saw, actually, yeah, if you go back, you'll see that I click it, it gets rejected. And I clicked it again, and it got accepted. So, but the real catch is, it was at 7:55. So this is the first time an order actually got accepted, right? And look, I actually tried to cancel it because it wasn't going through. There's no reason it shouldn't have went through because the ask actually comes down through it. Orders were going through. So there's really no reason that it shouldn't have went through. So to me, my gripe with them was I didn't, and look, there it goes again. So it's completely under. Shares are being traded, so it should have been accepted. I couldn't cancel that. So my gripe was, well, this was the first order that actually said accepted. It's the first one that wasn't rejected. During the day, if my orders are getting rejected, that is what it is. But if it says accepted and then it doesn't get filled, that shouldn't be on me. So that was my gripe, was this was the order that you guys put in. It was accepted, but it didn't get filled. So as you can see, it was a pretty big win for me if it had gotten accepted. Well, as you can see, as we scroll forward, she actually tries to put another order in as it's coming up. Because if you look at my screen, my mouse is nowhere near the montage, and another order just appears because okay, there's my mouse. Okay, there. So it just pops up. So they put this order in. That's right, Kevin. No days off, as you would say, right? But as you can see, the unrealized is coming way back at this point. But even at this point, I'm like, okay, well, just get me out of this trade, because it's kind of looking like she wants to go back up. And it was good news. So I was really surprised we even got this big move down like we did. So it doesn't get me out of the trade. Long story short, it just sits there, and then ends up closing. I recorded everything for the rest of the day. I'll just scroll all the way forward. Ends up closing at, I guess, 9:07, 9:41. So it just kept on going. So like around 9:40. So now look at where I'm at again. But at this point, I had talked to them, and when I got off the phone with them, they pretty much had told me that these orders should have went through, we'll fix it. So to me, I'm like, okay, whatever. So I actually went to bed without a care in the world, slept fine, woke up, had a great 4th of July, came back Friday morning, and this is what happened, just to scroll through this. So where's KPTI? So it's down here. So as you can see, good thing I didn't get on my computer until 8 o'clock, because if I would have came and saw this, I would have been like, yeah. But it actually almost was as bad. So as the morning goes on, I'm recording everything just in case, just for proof at this point. And I'm on the phone with them right around here, I think. I don't remember the exact time. Or actually, no, it wasn't until after 9 o'clock, because I was actually on the phone at like 8:05, and I let it ring on their thing. The way they need to have like we're not open till 9 or something, because it just goes right to their thing. You can press 1 for, technical support, and it just rang until 9 o'clock. So I wasn't too happy about that, but I figured when we got to 9 o'clock that they didn't open till 9. So I actually left a message, hung up, and called back, and I got somebody on the phone. So it was somewhere in here. You'll see that she closes my position. Dun, 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 dun. Right there. All right. So I'm on the phone with them, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. She says, do you want us to proceed with, because I had asked them, I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm still in this position. You guys said you were going to take care of this. She goes on hold for like 5 minutes or so, and then she comes back, and she's like, do you want us to proceed with closing the position? And I said, if you're going to close the position at the price you tried to close it at on Wednesday, then yes. And I was like, okay. So she said, okay, and put me on hold. And next thing I know, she was closing the position like 30 seconds later. Then she's on hold for like 10 minutes. And then she comes back and she's like, okay, we're going to open up a ticket to look into what happened, and we'll get back to you. And keep in mind, this was on Friday. So basically I had to wait until Monday because they didn't do anything. And it wasn't until late day Monday. But I end up getting an email that basically said, sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen. Yeah, like I said, Zealous, the fill that they gave me was the first 2 times I hit the button, which I can understand where they're coming from with that. I don't agree with it, but because I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with it. The real reason I don't agree with it is because I can understand the first 200 at 870 when I did hit the button, but I would have never hit the button again right away. Again, I would have let the other 200 go to see what it was going to do to try to make some profit and, get this to keep going. I would have been looking for at least VWAP. And when she actually starts going down right here, because she gets shoved down again, look at these topping candles, like right here. I mean, she went right through VWAP, and then she just denied it. I'm probably still trying to hold there. And I mean, she goes right down to $8. So I'm at least holding 200 shares through all of this. And so that is the part that kills me, is that they gave me both fills just because of the first time I clicked the button. And the other reason I clicked the button the second time is because I was trying a new route, as you guys had saw. So that was the frustrating part about that. But yeah, what I'm getting at is that was the crappy part about it. The good part about it is they did refund me. And originally they refunded me the whole thing, which is right here, the $632. They refunded me from the $10.28 close or cover to that $870 of my first click. So I was actually pretty pissed with this. I was actually pretty pissed off. And to answer your question, Trade Mamba, I'm not positive. I don't know, because the first email I got, it sounded pretty convinced that they didn't want to do anything for me. And I was a little concerned because, when they told me that they were going to reopen the case after that email, because I obviously got right on the phone with them after I got the email, and they said they were going to go back and review their phone calls. So I actually called the guy that I talked to, for my affiliation with them. And he basically told me to send him, any like extra proof that I may have. And I'm like, well, any proof that I have, you guys would have, because all it is the phone calls with you guys. So to me, it's like, if you're looking for proof that I have these recordings, is a little sketch. It did sketch me out a little bit, to wonder why they would want to hear what they already should have recorded. And in a sense, Trade Mamba, it did sound like they wanted to see if I actually had proof that could possibly, hurt their reputation, and all that good stuff. Was that their intent? I don't know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And, the guy I was talking to through my affiliation, the way he was explaining it to me, because I said these things to him. I said, well, anything I would have, you should already have. And he basically said, the reason I want this is so I know what's going on, because that's not his department. He can't just like go in there asking for all these recordings or whatever. He wanted them for himself so that he could go to bat for me, is basically what he was saying. But needless to say, I ended up getting the money back from the cover that they put in to the 870 of that first click. That was what they gave me. And I basically said, well, if you're going to be super technical about that, my second click wasn't until 865, and you still didn't pay me for these overnight fees that never would have happened if I would have got out of the trade in the first place. So that was where this $28 came in. 5 cents on 200 shares was $10, and then they just rounded this up to 18. So that's where the $28 came from. So they ended up making it as right as they felt was necessary. Why is this already in here? It's kind of weird. They're like pre-charging me. But yeah, so it was a doozy. And I wasn't too happy about it. It actually really threw me off for this whole week. I wasn't in the mood to trade. It kind of messed with my head a little bit. Not like CMEG itself, just being put through something like that. The trade in the first place, I had never been stuck in a halt like that. That was very emotionally draining. The swings in my head from that $7.55 where I thought I should have actually gotten filled because of everything that happened, and that was the first order that was accepted, etc., to that $10.28. It was a $1,100 swing, and that's a big deal to me right now. So trying to build a smaller account, it's a big deal. So and as you could see, after that big loss, when they actually closed it, from my $5,000 starting, it put me down to 42.41. And the next day I took a loss on CHGG, put me down under 42. And then I just kind of clawed my way back with some small wins. Got the reimbursement, got the second reimbursement. And let me get rid of that platform fee, but just to show you guys. July. And yeah, I guess that, to answer your question, ZLS, yeah, that's the platform fee. It's $150. It's $115 and then $35 for market and data fees. I don't know why it's already in there like that, but it shouldn't be. It doesn't show on my account here either. So I'm assuming that it's just they're showing you when you would get billed for it. I'm not positive. But yeah, I've clawed my way back to 49.04 or 49.16. It'll go up just a smidge more after everything goes through for today. But yeah, it's been rough. So I'm really trying to just kind of claw my way back here. And yeah, if we want to look at this guy, the KPTI trade, all said and done, actually ended up being $107 in the red. From when I realized those losses up at the top of the trade. For anybody that didn't watch the video on the actual trade, this was 100 shares, 100 shares, 200 shares, and then up at the top I hit 400 shares, but then I covered those 400 shares 17 cents lower, just to get my average up, and take off the risk in case, she decided to keep running. So essentially, that was how I realized the 118.50. But then all said and done, after they closed out the shares and gave me the reimbursements for it, it ended up being $107, based off of, because I put the 870 for 200 and 865 for the other 200, and that's what it came out to be. So yeah, this has been my journey since I started last year. Looks like a crazy little chart. So, but yeah, as you'll notice, commissions, especially for the first part of it from SureTrader and whatnot, it's taken a toll. So that's really a big part of it. A lot of people don't understand how much commissions eat into your profits, but they do. But yeah, I'm actually a negative trader right now, overall, mainly because of that most recent MTSI trade. That was a killer. But that's the thing, guys. You can be a 90% trader, but if you have one or two losses that outweigh your smaller winners, because look at this, average loser. If I'm only losing 28% of the time, but I'm losing 3 times as much as my winner, this is over the course of the lifetime of my trading so far. And that's what I've been working on a lot lately, is trying to make my winners bigger than my losers. And I've been getting a lot better at it. Because if you go back to, what was it? It was my CLF trade. See if I can find it. Here it is. So February 8th. So if we go from February 8th until now, let's see how we've been doing. So this is when I started my new strategy. So I'm actually 58 and 9, 86.57%. My return overall is only negative $63, which isn't too bad, but overall after commissions, it's $915. So I'm essentially a break-even trader at the moment, but with commissions, look at how much you're losing. So, and a lot of that was still a SureTrader, because like I said, I didn't switch to CMEG until May. So I still had 3 months of SureTrader in this. Actually 2 months, because, yeah, 3 months. But look at this. I had a loser of $1,000. That was an MTSI trade, and my biggest winner was only $116. That's unacceptable. Look at the average winner and average loser. That's horrible. I may have only had 9 losers, but when you're averaging that high, that's a no-no. It's, a lot of people need to realize that risk management is what this game is all about, and it really is. A lot of people don't understand that. It's not about, the home run trades. It's not about, just keeping your losses. I mean, it is about keeping your losses small, but you still need to be a winning trader, which at this point, I obviously got that part figured out, right? I've been killing it with my new strategy. 86% is phenomenal. But while I was doing that, I didn't know how to lose. I didn't know how to lose. So when I took that month off and paper traded, that was really what I did the right way. Zelisk, that is actually the name of the group. I couldn't think of it earlier. That's why I didn't tell you. I wasn't trying to hide it. I just couldn't remember it. Bear Bull Traders, they're the other affiliate with CMEG that could get you the commissions that I get. So if you want to go that route, I'm not going to tell you not to, guys. Your wallet speaks. It's why I love SureTrader for CMEG in the first place. So I'm obviously not, I'm here to make you guys better. I'm not going to tell you guys to support me for my own good. If you don't mind paying a little bit extra in commissions to support me, then you're awesome and you can go right ahead. But yeah, the Bear Bull Traders, I believe I don't know if it's on their website or in their Discord or something, but they have a code, and I believe that, I know that they're the ones that have the better thingamajiggers. The best chat room service, I've looked at a couple when they've had their free like demo days and stuff like that. One of them was True Trading Group. There was actually I've done 3. I've been in the Warrior Trading one. I didn't pay for it. A buddy of mine, he had access to it, and so I had got in there through that. Just wasn't it definitely made me realize that I was completely right about what I think of that chat room. And then there was another one. He's a Twitter guy. I want to say his name was Luke. Yeah, Luke Murray. I was in his room for a little bit when he had like a free week going on or something. And they're all not what you would really think. It's just I know there's if Thomas is still here, he'll tell you that the best chat room is the one we're in. It's not a chat room to give alerts, but there are alerts, and the alerts are for you to pull up charts that other people are trading, and I'm talking about the ISW team. Yeah, double D's in there. I don't know how to explain it without like bragging about it, but basically the alerts are there. But the intention is not to follow the alerts. The intention is to say, hey, I'm trading this because it fits my edge. You should take a look and see if it fits your edge because it's a stock that's moving and it's showing great opportunity. So you could pull that stock up if you didn't see it off the scanner yourself, because pretty much everything we call out is straight off the scanner. But sometimes people might be in another trade, so they can't focus on the scanner and their trade at the same time. So people will, put these things in the chat room, and a quick look up at the chat room to see what somebody had just posted in there is a lot easier than being trying to focus 100% on the scanners and your trade at the same time. Because if you're in a volatile stock, you don't really have time to kind of go back and forth unless you're an expert. But yeah, I'm not a stock expert, but commissioned. So what I was saying is ISW has the best chat room I've ever been in, and this is actually the 4th one I've been in. And I've seen reviews and stuff on other chat rooms. I know Kevin Avery has done a couple videos on other chat rooms as well. I've actually done a video in the past about why I think chat rooms, those types of chat rooms, just to be blunt, I call them pump rooms. The reason I think that those are not good is because if you're there just to follow alerts, you're never actually going to be profitable in the long run. Because you're not going to understand why you're even getting into the trade, and you're not going to understand how to manage the trade. So if you get into the trade and it goes against you horribly right away, you're not going to know how to manage that. So yeah, that's really, to me, that simple as to why. Yeah. Well, kind of. Yeah, Team ISW is not something that is the chat rooms aren't necessarily just handed out. But if you shoot me an email, it's an invite only, as some of these guys in here know, but it's not necessarily something that people are just given. It's something that you kind of have to earn over the course of getting to know somebody. So if you want to message me privately, I'll give you the link to the scanners, and perfect. I have a perfect scenario for you, Ken. Just popped into my head. I'm going to give you the link to the 300 subscriber giveaway that we're doing. The 300 subscriber giveaway is for a free week of the Team ISW package. So you get the 2 chat rooms, you get the learning center, and you get all the scanners for a whole week. And from there, we could talk further about everything that comes along with it. All you have to do is go to the video I just linked you, post down in the comments of the video why you think you should win. And I'm going to be doing that next Friday. Well, let me see how many subscribers we got. If it's still at 295. Where are you? Where did it go? There it is. We're actually at 296. So we'll wait till next Friday. Of course, Ken. I appreciate you stopping by. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Definitely don't mind answering questions. I'm probably one of the more truthful people you'll talk to in this industry. Nothing to hide. Blunt truth all the way. But let me make sure I didn't misread any of these things. A lot of times I mute the chat and the scanners while I'm in a trade. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Especially when you're first beginning. Distractions can be exactly that, distractions. So if you can cut the distractions while you're in a trade so you can focus on your trade, then that's awesome. That's actually really, I never actually thought about muting the scanners while I was in a trade. It's a good idea. I've been in about 4 different chat rooms. And I would say the ISW is the best one I've been in. I don't see how you can't say that, because I feel like everyone that does make it into the chat rooms says the same thing. Especially people that have been in other chat rooms. I feel I almost don't like calling it a chat room, because when people talk about trading chat rooms, they all think of, like Ross Cameron and all those guys, Jason Bond, True Trading Group, Luke Murray, all those guys. Like, they think of those where they're giving alerts. You're paying for their alerts. Well, this chat room, you're paying for a group of guys that are there to help each other. It's and we're alerting each other of opportunity. We're not alerting trades so that you can follow them. It's a whole different experience. VC, I was thinking the same with my trading style, but with small accounts, it makes a difference. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was something about commissions. I'm not Vincenzo. Thank you. I'm not a stock expert, but commissions shouldn't have much effect on your trading strategies. If they do, I would guess the strategy was bad, but I'm a futures guy. I understand where you're coming from completely. When I was with SureTrader, I would look at a stock, and if it was like a higher price stock, say like $30 plus, and I knew I was only going to take like 50 or 100 shares, it would scare me out of the trade, the commissions, because I'm like, I'm about to pay $5 for 50 shares. That's 10 cents a share. Like, I couldn't comprehend in my mind why I was doing that. Actually, yeah. And it would keep me out of trades because I knew, and there was the perfect example. I'll go back and show you one of my trades. Let's see. TW. Yep, here it is. So this trade on Twitter, you'll see I was taking 50 shares, and let's just go to the recap. So yeah, this is SureTrader. So I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I took 6 tickets. It was 6 trades, all $50 or 50 shares. I ended up with $13.50 in profit. However, look at the commissions. It was $30. So it ended up being a negative trade. Whereas if I did that today, this would be $3. So I still would have made $10 instead of losing overall. Was that $26 or $16? That's crazy. It's a huge difference. That's just one day, and it adds up. So it's like it was days like this that it would make me realize that, okay, well, maybe I should just not trade these higher price stocks, because with a smaller account you can only take so many shares, because you don't want a chance getting running out of buying power, which has happened to me before. Because if you run out of buying power and you're stuck in a trade, you can't possibly add get that last add that would have made it a profitable trade, which has happened. It was around this time, actually. I can't remember the name of the ticker. I want to say it was. Let me pull up the. I can tell you exactly. I think it was AV. I think it was started with an I. I'll know. ACHC was one of them. I don't think that was the one I'm thinking of, though. Let me just check one sec, because now it's going to bother me. IVC. That was not it either. Yeah, look at all that red. That was like when I was kind of going through. It was ACHC. because it was right there around Twitter. I wish I had the chart for that. Actually, here we go. This is why I started this YouTube channel. Right now, exactly what I'm doing. If I like see, usually I at some point I started putting the actual charts in the in my journal, so I could just pull it up there. ACHC. Yeah, no buying power. Yeah, I remember this trade because I in the video I try to add. Yeah, I tried to get the ad up top over here because I had the ad, and I think it was over here. Sorry, because then she had this big downfill, and I would have got out here for a good profit, but instead my average was like right below that, so I was hoping it would get down through VWAP, and then she came back up. I actually held through all of this. I tried to add even less shares up here, but I remember not being able to get it, and then I ended up just covering down in here for a loss, realizing that she was kind of didn't want to come back down and stay under VWAP. So it actually ended up being almost the perfect cover for waiting that long, but just very frustrating that I didn't have the buying power to get that ad. And that just goes to show you, and that's another thing with SureTrader is not good with CMEG. With CMEG, if you're over the certain dollar mark, which is $2,499, you get 6-to-1 on your money. Where on SureTrader, you can have any amount and get 6-to-1 on any stock unless they limit it. Like this stock was only 3-to-1 that day, which is why I didn't have enough buying power. If it were 6-to-1, this would have been a profitable trade. But instead, I ended up losing $100. So that's another con with SureTrader is at and most of the big moving stocks, they'll put those at 1-to-1 almost right away. So you got to watch that on SureTrader as well, which is not a very good thing. It was, I have had problems with SureTrader and getting into a trade where there was one time where I clicked the button and it put me in the trade, and then it took me right out of the trade without clicking another button. And almost instantly, the stock went straight down. And I called them up and I was like, yo, I would have probably made $100 on this trade. Give me $100. That's basically what I said. They ended up crediting me $50 because they did realize it was a mistake on their end. But I don't see how I would have made less than, it was like $90. I mean, it literally, as I clicked it from where I got in, I mean, it was almost like I clicked it here and it just went straight down to here, like almost immediately. And I guess that's why they gave me the $50, because there's been other time. There was another order where I think I hit cover on a limit order and it came down. And because a lot of these brokers, you're trading with the broker, you're not really actually trading with the market unless they don't have the shares themselves. But one time I hit a limit order at say 820. And it filled me at like 8:35 or for some reason. And I didn't even notice it till like later that day, but I called them up and they fixed it. That wasn't an issue, but I have had the issues. It's just a matter of calling them, and I've never really, SureTrader, I never really had a problem with getting things fixed, but they were pretty stingy about how they fixed it. But they always did fix it. What do you charge for what, Ken? Sorry. They think of just getting alerts. Yeah, Dario, if you're talking about the other chat rooms. That's the problem with, Ross Cameron being as popular as he is a lot of people get sucked into those expensive courses where everything he tells you in those courses is stuff that he's posted on YouTube in the past. So they don't even need to pay for the course to begin with. If people just did their own due diligence to, just go on YouTube and find all the information for free. And then they all get into this chat room and, it's really not that great because, what was I trying to say? It's really not that great because of Ross can't lose. I mean, obviously he does lose. But if, say I had a chat room full of 1,000 people and like today, CEI, when whatever chat room decided to pump this thing today, because obviously it got pumped. It was on SSR. It was kind of going sideways and then volume out of nowhere, right? Clearly a pump. And it actually went a lot further than I thought it would. SSR usually has something to do with it. And I'm pretty sure Jason Bond is the one that did this because I know he loves doing this to SSR stocks. But what I'm getting at is you can pick any stock that's a low float, that doesn't have a lot of volume, and you can tell 1,000 people that I'm getting into this trade. Well, you're going to have 1,000 people coming in trying to get all their orders in before everybody else in the room. And what's it going to do? So Ross is in all the way at the bottom. And at any point with his 6,000 to 9,000 shares, whatever he's got this time, he can just sell into his own students. And if you go back about a month or two when I actually started commenting on his videos, calling him out, which I no longer can comment on his videos, you'll see that his orders were at 9:30, and 3 seconds. And then he's selling sometimes 3 to 4 seconds later. Here's how fast I can say I'm getting into CEI for 6,000 shares. How long do you think that took me? That took probably 2-3 seconds, right? He's already in and out of the trade. Get out of here. I mean, it's so obvious what he's doing, but all these people, all they see is these YouTube videos where he's making $6,000, $10,000, $20,000 in a day, and they're hooked. They're like, sign me up. And, I'm just going to get in when he says to get in, and then I'm going to make all this money just like he is. And how many times do you see that stock come up to the second candle? He's out in 2-3 seconds, and then all of a sudden this candle just dumps and goes down even further than where it started. That's because all his students bought in. Now all the people that were in this stock before are selling on top of everyone else selling in his room, and now they're all left holding the bag, and that's it. And then they can't say anything because he has something in his clause when you sign up to go into his chat room. They can't say anything negative about order trading, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I have never actually came out and publicly said something against these other guys, but I don't know. He's the one that really irks me because he's the most popular and he's the most influential, and he is literally basically stealing money from people. I hate seeing it. I really do. I mean, Zelisk, I think at one point he was a great guy. Back when I started watching him, even a year ago, I feel like things were different. But I think he realized what was going on and how he could benefit from it. And I have to agree with Ken that he is a scumbag at this point. I mean, he's definitely using his subscribers. I mean, look at him buying $130,000 cars just because that's how much money he's raking in outside of trading. It's disgusting. And to be completely honest with you, 500 into 1 million in 2 years, yes, it's impressive. But if you are a professional trader, I mean, $1 million in 2 years, that's kind of chump change to some of these guys. So the 10%, they're not here to make $1 million in 2 years. I'll tell you that. Let me backtrack here. The scaling problem and price variance is absence from futures. The ultimate price is the vehicle. Doesn't change the set cost. Yeah, I get that. It's just something I couldn't get into with futures. I'm sure you know all about the trading memes page on Instagram, Vincenzo. I just saw a new one from them today, real quick before I keep going, that absolutely was cracking me up. Yeah, it's called The Trading Memes. Let me find the bowling one. Here it is. Oh, it's 4x. Okay. That cracks me up. And since we're here real quick, I'll show everyone that hasn't seen my favorite one. It just gets me every time. There's so many of them. These are gold, by the way, if you ever get you want to waste some time scrolling through these. I didn't think it was this far down. I feel like I wouldn't be able to miss it. Come on, where are you at? Oh, there it is. Always watch it twice. Full effect. I just love how this one's like, I don't want to lose my whole account. I'm just going to cut it. Okay. Oh, God. What the? That was really loud. All right. So that was our I trade with no breaks. All right. Let me scroll back up. Ken, here, let me give you my email address. Send me that question there. We'll talk about it. Been watching Ross for over 3 years on YouTube now. Never would I ever pay for his courses. I know exactly how he trades. It's not, Zelisk. It's not hard to figure out how he trades. He literally does the same thing every time. And on top of that, it's kind of the same thing as it was way back then, except now he has a chat room full of 1,000 people that basically make sure he doesn't lose. It's that simple. Yeah, just like you say after that. When he buys, sure enough, people buy right after him. It's just what he does. He uses, and just like Ken said, he uses subscribers to pump a low float stock that he's in and sells into them. He's a scumbag. I totally agree at this point. Let's see. Saw some long infomercial last night. Yeah, and that's the other thing. When you're making enough money to make like production commercials like Warrior Trading does, and you see how much he's making trading, like he's really not making that much trading if you go back and kind of look at, like, he even shows you his monthly reviews. That's not enough to run some fancy office that he's in. Like, if you see his videos all the time, they have some fancy office now. The cars that he's driving, the house that he owns, the stuff that he's doing to his house, that's not trading money, guys, just to let you know. Yeah. How do you watch Biz? It's here, I'll link it. It's a Forex Instagram page, but all he does is post memes on it, and they're hilarious. Here it is. Yeah, Biz. Your stomach, dude. There's so many of them too. You start, if you want to laugh for like a good hour. You just click through them. I mean, it's literally, they're nonstop. I mean, you just sit here one after another. Some of them are like, but a lot of them are just absolutely hilarious. I remember this one. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, I won't get into that too much. We did that in one of the live streams. I sat there for like 30 minutes. Justin, what's up, GDT? Now, GDT, he is the king right now. He is a quick learner, uses all of his knowledge of the market, and he picked up on the strategy that we're using, the whole para into the short, and he's killing it. So props to GDT, man. He's absolutely killing it. If you don't follow him, I'm sure if you guys are watching me, I'm sure you already follow him. So, but if you don't, go check out his channel. Definitely won't be disappointed there. Puts out much better content than I do. He's been doing it for far longer. He's kind of my king. I remember I was following him at like 400 subs. Actually, it wasn't 400, but it was definitely sub 1,000. And then he just like blew up out of nowhere. Yeah, yeah. S-Fix, that was an interesting one. That thing really just died all day. She had that pop at the bell, and then good old 4 points. All right, make sure I didn't miss anything else. Don't know how the SEC lets him get away with it. Yeah, Ken, I don't know how they do it either. It's so obvious what he's doing. You would think I watch the show Billions. For anyone that doesn't watch the show Billions, go watch it. You'll be hooked on the first episode of season 1. Just a great show, but they show you that. I mean, even in there, they try to make that show pretty realistic as possible. The kind of stuff that goes down. So if they're catching people doing that kind of stuff, you would think that somebody that's blatantly putting their stuff online for everyone to see, that you can see what's going on. All it would take is one of them to just go into his chat room. There's all the information they need. I guess they can't directly tie them to anything, though, because I guess everybody's putting their money in at their own free will, but, is what it is. He's for his own trades, yes. He's definitely pulling millions a year from his service. Oh, definitely. He's trying to pull a Tim Sykes. Sykes used to be a more active trader. Yeah, Sykes is one of them guys that I don't even think he really trades at all anymore. I mean, it's very rare. That dude just promotes his courses, and he's kind of built his reputation, and now his reputation kind of sells himself. So power to him for the hustle. I think he's a dweeb and he photoshops like all of his pictures, but everybody's got to do their own thing. Ross reminds me of a guy called Wade Cook. They make money from marketing, not the markets. Yeah, there's a lot of guys doing that right now. I don't know if any of you guys follow Guru Leaks on Twitter. I can link you to him. But, the guy, I'm pretty sure Guru Leaks is somebody that has their own service, because I don't know which one. I'm sure you could narrow it down. But I'm pretty positive that he doesn't talk bad about his service, obviously, but I don't know which service that is. But he targets a lot of the other ones, especially like Jason Bond. That dude is crazy. I think, I don't remember if it was him. There was one of them that got caught live streaming, and he was trying to act like the car, I think it was a Mercedes, like one of those, I don't even remember which Mercedes. I'm pretty sure it was a Mercedes though. And he tried to say it was his car, and then he puts his phone down while he went to go get the keys. But he left everything running. And as he walked into the door, you hear him say, "Hey, Mom, where's Dad's car keys?" Oh, that was so great. Yeah, no, GDT, I definitely agree with you there. I bet if I sat down for a day or two, I could figure out who it is. Because you could probably go through and just see every other service posted in there but one. AT09, yep, that's it. Modern Rock Trading Service, yep. Yeah, Modern Rock, Jason Bonds, all them guys, man. They all are making a killing just off of their chat rooms. They're charging out the ass for these chat rooms, and they don't even stick around. Like, there's so many people that post all the time that they're there for like 5 minutes in the morning, and then they're gone because they don't need to be. They're making their money off of you guys, not you guys obviously, but they're making money off of these sheep per se that are just paying them to give them alerts every once in a while. And you see it all the time too. His P&L posted that he's not even making money from trading, but guess what? He can take those losses because you're paying for them, not you guys. I keep saying you guys, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I saw that, Ken. I forget where I saw that, but I did remember reading about that. I guess I can, while I'm still answering questions, I can actually just get into, my scaling up part of this to kind of finish up. My scaling up part is really just no different than kind of getting out of the funk that I'm in, and getting back to trying to get to that $50 to $100 a day. And then once I can get comfortable there, I do plan on trying to just slowly scale as we go. But like I said, that KPTI trade, man, just emotionally drained me. And it just kind of, I was sick all this week too. I'm sure you guys could hear it in my videos. Dealing with KPTI, dealing with being sick, dealing with the kids while being sick. The kids are sick. I'm getting sick from the kids because my oldest is now in preschool, so he's bringing home all these sicknesses, and it's just been very fun. But yeah, get that cushion for what? What do I need a cushion for? While I have you guys here, what do you guys think of my new setup? Do you guys like that? I mean, let's run through it real quick. I like having, because there was one thing, focusing on one trade is good, but I've noticed that having the 3 trades, and I can have my scanners right here on the main. Let me exit out of this and get back in. No, I do not want to save. Yes, I want to exit. SW. No, right. Yeah, GDT. I'm not talking about scaling up anymore. I'm actually talking about just over this past week, I actually scaled down. So I'm just looking to scale back up to where I was, because I was only making. I went from my goal of being like $50 a day just down. I went down. I cut it in half to 25, and I've been doing that with. It's actually it's pretty impressive to be able to trade with just 50 shares and make $25-$30. Like, if you really think about it, it's kind of hard, because that's to make $25 on 50 shares. You need what, a 50-cent move, right? 20, right? Yeah, you need a 50-cent. No, yeah, a 50-cent move. So there was the one day I made $32 on 50 shares. I mean, that's pretty impressive if you think about it. That's a big move. So if you scale that up, I mean, it's pretty good money. Just saying. Yes, I got all my scanners in the way now, because I got a whole nother screen up there. Yeah, I do math every once in a while, especially late at night when I'm, tired and probably shouldn't be doing math. But no, I really like that. I actually need to change. I made this button, and I just haven't gotten rid of it yet. I need to figure out another button that I want. I really only use 3 buttons. I don't think I've ever covered 75% of my position. Only half and 100%. Because I'll usually like get into a position, then I'll cover half, and then I'll cover half of the half if I want to stay in it even longer. And then I use this button, the short. And then usually everything else I just kind of input myself. But yeah, I actually really like this layout because I can watch 3 stocks at once. The only thing I don't like is having to switch back and forth to the daily. So like if I want to check the daily on a stock, I have to actually switch back and forth. I actually called this one out, I believe, in the room today. I said keep an eye on HLIT if it gets above that 770 area, because it was down at 740 in the pre-market. Just because of that's where it would kind of hit the top of where it was for the last 2 days. And sure enough, I was watching other things, but this thing really did its thing. It went right up to 785 at a high. Yep. And then she just died off all the way down to 755 area. So that was kind of a miss this morning, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for these stocks that have good resistance. You're looking for them to pop right out of the gate and then drop, pop and drop. That's kind of the whole point. What was the other one today? GDT. Oh, AXGN. That was the good one. Me and GDT missed that one today. I had an order in. The ask went through it, but obviously none of the orders were actually getting filled on the ask. I had it at 22.20, like right in here. The ask actually went up to like 27, I think it was, but no orders actually got filled over 22.10. And then this thing literally just dropped off the face of the earth. It was pretty sad to watch. So hit me with some questions, guys. I'm actually surprisingly still awake for whatever reason. So ask away. If you have any questions about trading, CMEG, SureTrader, ISW, anything. Ask away. I am at your disposal. I just got a new game umpiring. That's always fun. My little side hustle. Let's see. Seeing if you emailed me, Ken. Seeing if I didn't even check if I typed that in right. VOLAT. Yeah, it looks like that's right. I don't see anything from you yet, so I didn't know if you had emailed me. I was gonna check it real quick. Are you using Sterling? No, this is actually DOS. I can't really see myself trading anything but DOS at this point. I love DOS because of just the simplicity of it. I mean, if you notice, there's really not much on my charts. This is a previous day close. So if you come over here, that's previous day close. I put this on here because I've actually gotten rid of it and then I put it back just because it tends to be used as support a lot. As you can see, it actually was kind of being used as support here on AXGN. It never actually got down to it, but it pretty much did. And then I got VWAP, which is this white dotted line. And then I have high of day and low of day. And this pink line is current price. And the reason I like this is because it's basically time and sales on your chart in a way. When the stock's really moving fast, this thing moves with it. So, and a good example, I'll just pull up the KPTI trade because we were just looking at it. But let's pull it up when it was actually moving. Where'd it go? Oh, I didn't pull it up yet. There we go. The ones that come out of the halt. There we go. There we go. So having that line, it really lets you see the price action. So in a sense, this is actually kind of like the time and sales to me. So I can see it going and then see how it kind of stalls out, and then that's where I get in. So it's no different than like watching the red or the white and the red come in on the time and sales to kind of feel that stall. Like you see the price kind of just stopping. Well, you can technically just look at the chart and do it that way. And if you're looking at the P&L, if you're trading P&L, I actually could have got out there for like $20-25 right then and there. But when I get into these types of trades, I'm really looking to essentially predict the top, and I'm looking for that bigger move down towards VWAP or like a key area like $7. And obviously we didn't get back down there. And I think, she comes back down. So I had several chances to get out of this trade even when I first got in. And actually when I hit that button the first time, I actually hit it up in the 70s, so I thought. But then if you slow it down, you can see that the ass just dropped down like right as I hit the button. So it kind of sucked. I lost like 12 cents right off the top from when I thought I was hitting it. Like if we just to show you. Let me slow it down real quick. Playback, speed, slower. Oh, my bad. I'm screwing it all up. All right. So it's coming down 77, 60, and I hit the button. You see that? I hit it and it was at 68. I did get 61, so 7 cents, but that's still a decent amount, especially when you count the shares. So yeah, it was $26 was a max there. So it hovered around $20. If I really wanted to take that, I could have, but I was looking for the bigger move down towards 7, especially coming out of the halt. But I was also prepared, if it did run. So green to red, red to green. Yeah, that also helps with that too. I'm confused. The end are hotkeys for. Oh, really? Huh. Cool. Learn something new every day. Look at that. You demand. I'm not a big VLC user. The only reason I would ever open VLC is just to review a trade, but usually I'm doing that on YouTube. I didn't at this point. My hard stop was later, because at this point, like I always say in all my trades, when she stops going up, like pretty much straight up, and starts to consolidate like she is here. I'm pretty sure yeah. That's kind of a fake out. I think that's why I stayed in this here, because I really didn't feel like she actually had any kind of a pullback, which is actually dangerous. But I probably should have stopped out right when she broke high of day here. That is the strategy, but I think I was kind of letting my emotions get to me here. And I told myself I was going to try to feel the top over 9, and that's what my plan became. I'm going to add these 400 shares and try to average up one last time and cover those out to keep my risk down. And then sure, that's exactly what I did in the moment. And I told myself I was actually going to use that as high of day as my hard stop. And then she never got back to it. I remember in the moment having a hard stop up top, but I didn't want to. I definitely right here is probably where I should have cut this trade to be safe, because there's no saying that this thing wouldn't have just kept going. And then she got halted right as she was probably about to plummet back down towards VWAP, because that's kind of usually what these look like. They'll kind of go up, consolidate a little bit, get heavy, and then everyone realizes we're not going to keep going to the moon, and then everybody sells. That's usually when you get the nice big red bar. But yeah, it was definitely kind of a bad trade from this point. My hard stop should have been here, but I kind of let it go. Essentially got lucky in a way, because it ended up, but in a way, what's worse, taking the $300 loss here and just eating a bad trade where we started way too early, or going through everything that I went through to gain $200 back. Because think of how much more I could have made that $200 plus a lot more if I didn't go through the emotional stress that I went through this week. So, take it for what it's worth. But yeah, that was I wanted to talk. It was kind of the same thing with the MTSI trade. I had to talk about it one last time to really just kind of get it out of my system. So I'm kind of glad that we did talk about this a little bit today. It helps. It helps get rid of the. It's like getting that last release with an X is the best way to put it. Just get it out of your system. Trying to think of what else I wanted to tell you guys earlier. I had something else on the back of my mind. Now I can't think of what it was. Feel free. Any more questions? Always if that's why I'm here. I know a lot of you guys are here just to hear me talk, but I think I might be out of things to talk about. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'll probably wrap this thing up. Is there a scrib? Use a scrib. Are you talking about a script? To have a hard stop based off average position size. I can't talk now. Again, this is a lot of this can go with your strategy, because again, not everyone's strategy will be the same, and everyone's edge is most likely not the same. But there's a couple different ways you can go about it. You can have a max loss on a trade, dollar amount. You can only trade setups where you have a set risk amount, as far as like if you're trading descending, ascending triangles, risking off of those. Today was a good example of one. Let me go back to my bigger. It's just easier to show everything. On CPRI. So just to give you an example, this was a descending triangle. So it was in the making there. And you got your support here. So if you get into this anywhere in here, like say you got in at, we'll just say 36.20. So you're risking off of 33.34. I actually have a calculator that I came up with, which I guess I could give to you guys at some point if you want it. So this doesn't really matter, but so say we're shorting. The entry price was, what was it at? 36.20. The risk level is 36.36. And say you want your max dollar loss to be $100. Oops, not $1,000. $100. So this would tell you that you could take 625 shares. And if you do end up hitting your stop, you would lose $100. But if you end up getting a nice move down, you're in for 625 shares. And I added this first two entries, final entry, because this is essentially if you take the 3 entry approach with the parrot into the SS. So say I look at the daily on something and I'm risking, like I know I want to risk $1. So say 36.20 and say I saw a really key resistance area at 37.20, but I want my stop loss or my max dollar loss to be 200. Well, it's gonna use the 200 shares as that. So it's actually probably less than $200 if you do a 50, 100 where your last 100 is at that 37.20 area. So you're probably looking more anywhere between 100 and 150 on this. So for something, you could always raise that a little bit more. But back to the example, on a descending triangle, you could do that. And then I just added this where you can base it off your account funds. So actually with 6-to-1 margin, this would be 30,000. So technically, if you wanted the max position size based on your account, so you could take 829 shares of this total on this total trade if that was your account, that amount available. So it's a pretty cool calculator, kind of helps out. I was using this for a while until I kind of figured it out on my own per se. Like the more and more you use it, you start to figure it out, or at least have a base of where you want to be. So, because when I pull up a chart, what? No. I don't know. So like we'll just take CEI because it ran today. So say I were to get into a trade, when I pull up a chart, say it's moving and we're like right here. Well, what I'm doing is I'll take a look at the daily and I'll see the kind of range it has, which I would never trade this stock, but let's just say it only had a range of $2. I'll see that we're at $4. The tip of its move was at 325. So to me, my risk is probably somewhere up around like $6, give or take. So if I wanted to start the position down here, I need to think of the share size that I would need to take, where if I were to add 2 more times all the way up to that point, which I usually just add at the $half and the whole dollar marks because they're pretty good opportunities, to where if you break through on some good volume, going through a whole dollar or $half, usually you'll get some big selling pressure there. And a lot of times that is usually where the top could be at any given moment. It's very rare that you just kind of stall out in like the 30s or something like that. Usually if you get to the 30s, you kind of push to that next point. At least that's what I've seen in my experience. But so you kind of scale in based off of what you consider the range of the stock to be. So if I'm looking at something that's 2 points, I'm more likely to take like 50, 50, 100. But if I'm looking at something that's only moving, say, 30 cents, I'm more likely to take like 200, 200, 400. You see what I'm saying? So it's all really, to me, relative with the range of the stock. But usually what I'm doing with a hard stop is, this is actually a really good example. So say I got in like right around here at, what is this, like 388 or so, or 375, 388. And then I added right here at the top at say like we'll say 415. So that puts our average right around a little over 4. We'll say she consolidates, and this actually comes down to 392, but we're really looking for this thing to get down towards VWAP. Just say we're looking for it to come. Let's see what else, if there's anything else. Yeah, it's kind of a tricky one. There's no real definitive area. But say we were just looking for this thing to come back down to VWAP, and it doesn't. So what are your hard stop at that point, even though you didn't even get your third add in, because it came down and consolidated trying to make that move down towards VWAP? If you didn't lock anything in here, you should definitely be stopping out when it goes over high a day here. So your stop would be at 434, or you could see what it does. Because a lot of times this happens too, where it'll get high of day on like a big sharp move, and it's a fake out, at least temporarily. So some people will just set a mental stop there. It'll break high of day. They'll see what it does there. And then they'll see if when it comes back under this resistance, they'll see if it decides to go back over, and that second time is when they'll go ahead and get out. And that's what I usually do. I don't usually set hard stops unless it's something pretty definitive, like a descending triangle or something like that. But yeah, in most cases, I will use the top of the initial high that it sets. So straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up, and then we finally set a top. We start to come down and consolidate. So I'm looking for this to come back down. Obviously it doesn't. So when it gets back up over that high, I'm looking to see what it does at that high, and I'm probably getting out on this candle here as it continues. Probably pissed off when I see it do this, but we ended up not being wrong as she decided to keep going. So by trading this correctly, look at what you ended up saving yourself. You saved yourself the hassle of going through all this. Now, if you have like an infinite bank account and you can go through these types of swings, and you could ride this thing all the way up to $10 like it did from 239 to 947, you can just kind of space your ads out really. Like if you're in a runner, 350, 450, 550, like you could space them out. And then you can, so 350, 450, that puts you at 4. And then 550, that puts you at what, 430, something like that. It's getting late. But then you basically are waiting for this to happen. Let me do that right. So you're at 4, then 4, and say you didn't even get up to 550. But we'll just say you got in at 5, because this is right at 5. Yeah. So we'll say 5. So you're at 450. So yeah, my math was way off. Because on that second ad, you're adding what these two are combined. So say 100, 100, 200. So yeah, you'd be at 450. So basically, you're averaging up and you're waiting for this. Because on these stocks, it's usually not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And today happened to be all in the same day. So she pretty much gave back everything from that pump intraday. But a lot of times you see these run, and then it takes days to come down. Like if you scroll back on this one, when she first ran a couple days ago, came up. This thing went all the way up, and then she gave a lot of it back in the after hours, and then she gave a lot of it back that next day. But if you take a look at it, look where she started. She started way down here near $2, and she's still up in near $4. So they don't always come right back down to where they started. But if you can get anywhere in on like the back end of these moves, the odds are, unless they're getting pumped again like it did today, you're going to be in a decent trade. And I know Steven Dux is actually pretty good at these. He catches the back end of these a lot. That's how he makes a lot of his money. So yeah, it was a good question, Thomas. Very good question. Hopefully I answered it to your satisfaction. Anybody have any other questions? The stream is actually going pretty good. Surprised at how quickly it went by. Sometimes they do that. Again, questions about anything, guys. Just the main topics today were CMEG, Sure Trader. My KPTI trade was kind of something I was talking about. Just talking about trying to get back to normal share size for next week. Talking about trading memes, ISW, the scanners. Don't forget about the 300 sub giveaway. We're going to do that next Friday. Let's see if we gained any more. If you are one of the viewers that are not subscribed to me and you watch my videos, hit the damn subscribe button. I don't beg, but it's kind of frustrating. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I was looking at this earlier, and I was watching another channel that they showed you like how much they made over the course of so many views and whatnot. But and they showed you how to look at all this stuff. So if you go here and you see subscription status, the people that are viewing my videos, 67.7% of them are not subscribed. So 2/3 of the people that watch my videos aren't even subscribed. It's like, come on, guys. You're watching my videos. Just subscribe. Show the support, Let me know that you care. But, so I don't know why that bothered me, but it did. Like, I don't necessarily like care about YouTube, but it's like seeing the support, it kind of like drives me to kind of keep trying to help more than I feel like I already do. So that's all. So subscribe if you haven't already. How do I get back to where I was on this? There we go. Yeah, we're still at 296, so we'll do that next week. Go hit 300. I was actually surprised because we were at 291 on Monday. So this is probably one of the slower weeks I've had because we've been gaining like 10 to 15 or so a week. So I was actually surprised that we slowed down. And it seems too, like when I announce these giveaway videos, that's the only time I get people that unsubscribe. It's like people don't want to be a part of it, or I don't know, maybe they want to wait until it's there and they want to be 300. I don't know. It's kind of funny though. It makes me laugh. Excuse me. But let's do 2 more minutes. We'll do 11:20. So I'll give you guys 2 more minutes to ask some questions. If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I'm going to get to bed. Oh, did he? That's awesome. How'd you pull that one off? I feel like I got to pay you an affiliation fee or something. There you go. It's more than I've ever made from YouTube. I'll give you a nickel. That's funny and awesome at the same time. Oh no, the Roomba. It's about to get loud in here, so it's kind of good timing. I'm gonna wake my deaf dog up when it runs into him. Poor doggy. I have a pug. He's 13 years old. He's been through it all with me. He's been through it all. Can't believe he's 13. That's crazy. I literally remember the day I went and got him. 8 weeks old. That's crazy. I'm sure everyone kind of has those experiences with pets. I mean, not everybody, but. Oh, nice, Thomas. Yeah. Anybody that wants to hear about my journey and stuff, I'm not afraid to tell them. A lot of people, once I start getting into the technicals about everything, they kind of lose. You can tell that they kind of lose not interest, but they lose the idea of what's going on. I am 33. I will be 34 September 27th. I'm old. I'm getting old anyway. I have to umpire one game Sunday morning at 10, and then I have a doubleheader with my baseball team at 1 and 4. All 9-inning games. Or no, the doubleheader is 2 7-inning games. So yeah, that should be fun. My knees aren't what they used to be. I definitely feel it after days like that. '30s is not old. You know, I hear that a lot, but yeah, I definitely feel old some days, especially when my kids wear me out. They wear me out big time. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everyone showing up. Again, if you have any questions about CMEG, SureTrader, anything, and it's something you missed and you didn't think of until after the stream happened, leave it in the comments. Shoot me an email. Anything about the scanners with ISW, best scanners in the world. I literally, that's how I trade. I can wake up 5 minutes before the bell, not wake up, like sit down at the computer 5 minutes before the bell and just open those up, and Thomas, Double D, they'll all tell you. I mean, you literally could just sit down and trade based off of those scanners. They show you these opportunities on a daily basis, and I'm actually going to be making the videos for the ISW channel, so you guys can actually go over there and check those out. They're going to be coming out once a week, probably on Saturday or Sunday, just kind of showing you how the scanners help out. And if you guys want a nice little discount on that, I won't be mentioning that in the videos, but you can go ahead and check that out on any of the descriptions of my videos. It should be in this description as well if you guys are interested in that. But Thomas, you have a great weekend too. I will definitely see you Monday. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me if you have any questions before that. And yes, let those trades come to you guys. Like and subscribe. I don't know. I always say that at the end of my videos. I never really care, but I know I say it because you're supposed to say it at the end of YouTube videos. So smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. But what I do say that I mean is I appreciate the support. Always appreciate the support. If you guys if you have anything to say, if it's positive, negative, something you see in any of my videos, interact. I love to interact. I love seeing comments. I love responding to the comments. I love starting conversations with you guys. So do that. It's always a fun time for me. Makes me feel like what I'm doing is actually helping and, relevant. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. Hold on, let me get all this set up because I always screw this up. I always say peace and then I'm always hitting it wrong and all that good stuff. But all right, I will talk to you guys Monday. Peace.